Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm pretty sure that in Ukraine there's a lot of mercenaries that the armies know about, and some people that are under who knows whose command. The thing here is that the Ukrainians are crying that the Russians have a new mercenary. That's how they call them. We call them private military companies, contractors. Okay, but because they're on the Russian side, mercenaries. Our side, either volunteers or private military contractors. You know, they just say, halt. Okay, so we got another guy here in Russia, evil Russia, I must add, who's creating his own company, and the Ukrainians are jerk off. Let's go. What's going on here? What's going on that the Kremlin puppet Aksionov creates in occupied Crimea his own mercenary company with alleged ties to Prigozhin. So we can say that he's expanding and his enterprise of murderers. The new Voice of Ukraine reports. Must be true. This is from the 24th of March 2023. Here is a few, but oh, why did you cover that face? I got a boob over there, boob on your little fingers. All right. So reportedly, the convoy, so remember this, convoy PMC, referred to as a military unit by Aksionov, has been identified as a, and I'm quoting, combat army reserve by a former member who disclosed that members must sign contracts with both Convoy and the Russian Ministry of Defense to ensure, and I'm quoting, guaranteed benefits in case of injury or death. Oh, they have benefits. The publication's source, who works for Convoy, claimed to be earning around $2,600 per month, while the commanding officer was making $3,900 a month. I don't think that's a good thing for them to advertise that. This guy's like a job ad right here. Additionally, those who commit to serving in the unit for 1 year are promised land in Crimea and Abkhazia. Phew! What about college education paid by the U.S. taxpayers? Convoy mercenaries, we already got from, we got from the PMC, right? The contractors. We got to the mercenaries. Okay, we're going to call them mercenaries because that's how they want us to call them, and we are good people, and we're going to follow orders. Not. So the convoy are currently deployed in the Russian-occupied part of Kherson Oblast, the publication said, adding that the training ground, as it follows from the information of one of the chats, is located in the village of Perevalne near Crimea. So they tell me about a chat. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's the information they got from a chat. A former mercenary, from the company, told reporters that the entire command of PMC Aksionov are former employees of the notorious Russian Wagner Group mercenary company. Nah. That's impossible. And I will tell you why. Because the same weasels told us that the Wagner Group has no more fighters. So now there are some former? What do you mean? There's some alive? I thought that Wagner Group is like barely breathing. That's how high the water is. And now we find out they're former? They graduated, they got a diploma now, a PhD in boom and Jesus Christ. You see, from this BS, someone is lying. I'm not saying that could not be former, but someone is lying. Either the Wagner Group has so many people that are coming and going and not dying in 3 hours and a half in Bakhmut, or whatever, or these guys are, are they former? Or these guys are lying right now? Which one is it? I'm not saying they can't be former, but these guys are telling us this like without thinking what the other guys told us yesterday. Oh, the Wagner Group had 10,000 more people. That's all they got. By the way, about a week ago, I think it was the Ukrainians or the Brits, told us, cross my heart, hope to die, swear God, kind of thing, the intelligence community, told us that about 10,000 more Wagner mercenaries are in Bakhmut at this point. I saw an article that they say between 500 and 800 Wagner mercenaries per day die in Bakhmut. Okay, let's say 500. In 10 days would be 5,000. In 20 days, no more Wagners. And that was about, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 days when I heard that. You can find it online, just find out. So they must be done. And now they tell me they have 4 more? I mean, please. They borrowed, I was to say. They hired all those guys from the prison and the convicts, ex-convicts, blah, 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 and they still are there. And they're liars. I mean, I know I visited today the Bridge of Liars, but these guys been there like they went over there every night. Convoy is commanded by Konstantin Pikalov with a call sign Mazai, who is known as the right-hand man of Wagner's Yevgeny Prigozhin and the overseer of Wagnerite Russian mercenaries in Africa. Oh my God, these are everywhere. In North Pole as well. According to a report by news agency Bloomberg, must be true. On March 23rd, Prigozhin is preparing to wind down the Wagner Group's operations in Ukraine after numerous failures. Okay, remember this right here. So Wagner, we're not going to hear from Wagner much because they're preparing to wind down the operations. But I guarantee you that when the Russians, if the Russians will have some successes here and there, you're going to hear about Wagner again and again. Because, they say something today, the weasels with IQ below 86, okay, they like fish, forget in 5 seconds where they are, or like deer, attention span 5 minutes. That's why they have to repeat certain things like Pavlovian, that's why they have to do it. It's just conditioning for the weasels, and it works. Why? Because the weasels, they catch information hard and they forget it fast. So you have to bombard them all the time with the same BS. So if, you imagine that you have a cup and there's a big hole at the bottom, and you want to keep water in the cup, but the big hole is just gonna drain it. So you imagine that your faucet or whatever it's called, pour a lot of water over there, so it keeps growing because the freaking hole over there is too big. So you have to bombard them so it remains something at least. That's how it works with these weasels, man. I'm telling you, it's just okay. Every three minutes you gotta remind them something, so otherwise oozes away from their little nerve. They got over there, they don't have a brain. They have over there 2 little nerves that are like sometimes they make contact like bzz, 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 I don't know if you work with electricity and you put 2 wires together, sometimes they spark, bzz, bzz, bzz. Sometimes they stay glued by the heat produced by the electricity, and then after a while they melt, it's too hot, and then they break. When these guys break, when they do something crazy, it just breaks over there, so they can't freaking have contact anymore until they calm down, and then again. But that's all they have. Man, but at least I'm having fun. I hope you do the same. So here we have a new mercenary group. I'm pretty sure that's more than Shoigu, Prigozhin, and Askimov, or whatever his name is. The same is true for Ukrainians, but hey, those are private military companies, contractors, and these are just cowboys. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.